What is going on, guys? We are back again with part two of the art of spotting high ticket buyers on Facebook. Guys, you know the drill. If you're checking this out on replay, drop me a hashtag replay down below. If you guys are jumping on live, drop me a hashtag live. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. I've really enjoyed the training yesterday, guys. I hope you got a ton of value. And as I said, this is part two. Part three will be tomorrow, and then we're going to take a break for the New Year's, and there's going to be a couple more trainings, guys. So let me know if you guys are enjoying things so far. Guys, if you're jumping on live, drop me a hashtag live. Let me know where you're checking in from. You guys know the drill by now, and we'll give it a minute, and we're going to get stuck into part two of the training. If you haven't already, guys, just grant StreamYard permission as well so I can see who's commenting, because I haven't got my phone up today, and I don't want to have to be talking to Facebook user. Who's excited about the new year? I can't believe 2021 is almost here. There's like, well, it's the 30th here in Australia today. So, yeah, less than 48 hours left. Flip, what's going on? Kathy, thanks for jumping on. Peter, good to see you. Let me know, guys, who we got on live, who is checking this out live. So, guys, just a reminder, if you haven't already checked it out, part one I did yesterday. It's in the Facebook group. It's called The Little Known Art of Spotting High Ticket Buyers. Check out part one first. This is going to be a carry on from that. So it's going to be a little bit out of context if you haven't already said part one. JJ, what is going on, my man? Shelly, Todd, thanks for letting me know where you guys are checking in from. Colorado, Nebraska. Awesome stuff. All right, let's get stuck into it, guys. So as I said, if you haven't already checked out part one, head back in the group. Part one's in there. You'll be able to check out all the information. There was some really valuable stuff that we talked about yesterday, and a bunch of questions as well that I thought were really good. If you guys do have any questions while we're doing this training, feel free to drop them below. I'll address all of the questions towards the end of the training. We are on a little bit of a time limit today, so I don't want to waste any time. Let's get stuck straight into it. I'll bring up my mind map again. And just a reminder that you will have access to the mind map at the end of the training. Once these trainings are over, I will give you guys the link to the mind map so you can check it out. Let's hope we don't have any tech issues today. Hey, Joe, Stuart, Kelvin. Okay, let's give it a crack, guys. Let's see how we go. So first thing I wanted to do was a quick recap of what we talked about yesterday. So we talked about the art of spotting high ticket buyers, right? But first I wanted to talk about like the people that most of us are talking to, right? So the people that most of us are talking to and that I was talking to for months and months and months are people without a problem or people with a problem but have no money to invest in themselves to solve the problem. Now you guys can see we spoke about this yesterday where this is fundamentally flawed, right? We're not talking to the right people if this is the category of people we're chatting to. We're going to be wasting our time, putting a ton of energy and effort into these conversations and getting very little, if any, results from it. Okay, so this is where most people, this is where a lot of people get caught up. They're not targeting the right people. I was the same for so long. So I wanted to recap. Yesterday we went through, I explained to you that I use two different layers to identify the right people that I'm chatting to, right? And we started talking about layer one. So layer one, there was 6 filters. Yesterday, we covered 3 of the 6 filters. So the first filter is that the person is not heavily branded. So we want to make sure that they are not super heavily branded. They're not absolutely crushing it. If their profile looks like they're crushing it, we're probably going to be wasting our time talking to them because we solve problems. As affiliate marketers, our job is to solve problems, right? Connect people with a solution to their problem. Now, if they're heavily branded, they look like they're crushing it, they probably don't have a problem. Okay, the second one was tier 1 countries. So we went through these are like US, most of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, sometimes Singapore. These are your tier 1 countries. This is based off just the percentages of buyers that there's going to be within these places because we're not looking for sure, we can find buyers in non-tier 1 countries, but the percentage is going to be much lower. And we're here, it's a business. We're here to help people and make money. And the best way we can do that is by connecting with people from tier 1 countries. Okay, and the third filter we spoke about yesterday was mutual friends. So making sure that they don't have 900 mutual friends and making sure that they don't have 0. Try and find some common ground. Somewhere in the middle is going to be the best. And we spoke about problem and solution aware. I'm going to go into that a little bit more today. And just a side note, again, reminder, guys, there's always going to be exceptions to all of these rules. So what I'm saying is not a blanket statement. Like I said, there's buyers in non-tier 1 countries. You'll be able to sell to certain people who are heavily branded, right? But the percentage is much lower, and we're looking for the best. We want to get the most out of our time. Guys, drop me a hashtag makes sense. If all of that makes sense, you're on board and you're ready to jump into the rest of the layer 1 filters. Hashtag makes sense in the comments. And we're going to jump into the second part. Makes sense. Awesome. Thank you for dropping the hashtag, Shelley. Peter, awesome. Cool. Making sense. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So let's bring up layer 1 continued. I want to talk a little bit more about layer 1. These are the other 3 filters that I like to use, or the other 2 filters I like to use, and some red alerts in layer 1. So age. Age is the 4th layer 1 filter. And this is really simple, right? If we're connecting with someone who is 14 years old, there's a really good chance that they're not going to be a high-ticket buyer, right? Like, how many 14-year-olds do you know that have $1,000 or $2,000 to spend on a high-ticket product? I can't think of one. Maybe there's a couple out there, but and now let's flip it to the other end of the spectrum, right? Someone who is 75, all right? And again, there's exceptions to these rules, but generally speaking, someone who's 75 is not going to be a good person for us to target. They're not going to be interested in online business. And again, I'm not trying to stereotype here, but as a general rule, most 75-year-olds are not proficient on computers or the internet or things like that, right? So they're not generally going to be interested in online business. So age is another factor that a lot of people overlook. I know, obviously, Facebook doesn't have like a age next to their profile, but get a look at their profile. Like, do they look super young? Do they look like 65, 70 plus? If so, let's not add it. Let's save our time. Let's add some more targeted people, somewhere in between. Now, we can get really specific on this sort of stuff. Like, I know for myself, I tend to target people between the ages of 25 and 40. Basically because I'm in that age bracket. That's the type of person I attract. And obviously, being in construction and stuff, a lot of the blokes that are working in that are in that age bracket. So that's a little bit more specific. That's who I target. But I just want you guys to understand that age, obviously someone who's even 18 years old, right? There's a good chance they don't have money behind them. Like, they've maybe just started a job. Maybe they're at college. Maybe they're studying still, there's a good chance they don't have money to invest. So I think for me, I think 21 and up is reasonable, because most people would have a little bit of experience in the workforce. If you want to be even more picky, you can go 25 and up, because they've got a few years of work behind them. They've probably got some money and some disposable income behind them. And you can, I guess, use that to your advantage. We don't need to talk to people who are below that or above the 70 mark, and we're going to save a bunch of time like that. Okay, so that is filter number 4 that I use for layer 1. Now, number 2, and this is something I touched on a little bit yesterday, is experience, or their level of awareness or state of awareness. You'll hear people use these terms in marketing a lot. I touched on it yesterday. Let me explain it properly today. The state of awareness is where somebody is at. And what I mean by where somebody is at is, like, are they aware that they have a problem? Okay, so a lot of people are working a 9 to 5. They're not aware that there's another option out there. They're not even problem aware. Like, they don't have a big problem. Maybe they don't love their job, but they don't even know that there's a solution out there. They don't really think there's an inherent problem in what they're doing. They're happy just sort of cruising by in life and doing that, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. For some people, that's fine. For all of us here, we've chosen that that's not the option we want to take. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Okay, so the level of awareness is going to make a big difference, right? It's going to make a huge difference to how easy or how difficult this sale is going to be to close. So somebody who is not even problem aware is going to be super difficult to close on a sale, right? Because first of all, you've got to introduce the fact that there is an alternative out there, right? Then you've got to, obviously there's a ton of options out there. So now you've got to explain to them the different options, go through, like, explain what they all are, try and warm them up on affiliate marketing or high ticket affiliate marketing, and then slowly warm them up to being ready to buy a high ticket item. That's going to take so long, guys. Like I said weeks yesterday, it's more like months or years. Like this is going to be a really tough sale to be able to make, somebody who is not even problem aware. So the next state of awareness is solution aware. So somebody's solution aware is aware that they have a problem. They very well know that. They're not necessarily happy with their 9 to 5, or they don't have enough time, or whatever that is, right? They don't like their job, but they're also aware that online business is an option for them, and people are doing it, right? And they're aware that affiliate marketing is a thing. They know what affiliate marketing is. So someone who is solution aware, in the context of when we're talking about affiliate marketing, is aware that affiliate marketing may well be the solution to their problem. Okay, so all of a sudden, we're talking to people who are so much further up the buying pyramid. Like they are so much closer to making a high ticket purchase when they're both problem and solution aware. We don't need to do all of that explaining. We don't need to go through that whole backstory and warming them up slowly and getting them to even come around on the idea of online business. They already know. They've probably done the research. They got an idea of what's out there, and they know that affiliate marketing is likely the solution to their problem. Okay, and then you can take it one level further. So the level further you can take it is product aware. This is really powerful. As I alluded to yesterday, these are going to be the easiest sales you will ever close. And to be perfectly honest, this is where a lot of my sales come from these days, because people know what I'm about. They know what I'm involved with. They know I'm a high-ticket affiliate marketer. They generally know the products I'm involved with and the ones that I promote. So a lot of people will come to me both problem, solution, and product aware. So they come to me, they know that they've got a problem. They know that affiliate marketing is a solution to that. They even know a couple of the different products that I promote and just have a few clarifying questions. Okay, so obviously we want to target someone who is problem, solution, and product aware, all right? But at the very least, we want to go for people who are in some sort of a state of awareness that is above just cold. So we want to look for someone who's problem and solution aware. It's going to be so much of an easier sale to make. How do we find these guys? We find these guys in particular Facebook groups or places on Facebook. This is something, again, I'm going to talk about more over the next few days, but I want to make you aware that this is a layer. This is a filter, right? If they've got nothing about online business on their profile, they don't have any mutual friends, and they're 18 years old, their state of awareness is going to be super, super low. So you need to be aware of this stuff, right? We want to target people who are more aware. That's why we go for the mid-ground on the mutual friends. That's why we go for somebody who's a little bit older. This is the reasons that we doing this stuff. I hope that is all making sense so far, guys. Who we got on live? Peter, so far so good. I'm not 75 yet. Look, obviously, as I said, I don't want to stereotype an entire generation or anything like that. But as I said, we're going off percentages. We want the best. We're not looking to maybe stumble across a few leads here and there. We want to connect with the right people every time, or have at least a high percentage of the people that we're adding as friends be the right people. John, thanks for jumping on live. The stories are a lot alike. It's awesome, man. It's been a journey, yeah. Makes sense again. All right, awesome, Shelly. Glad that is making sense, guys. All right, so the last filter, and I guess this is something that's crucial, right? This is something that a lot of you guys are going to be aware of, but I think it's really important that I mention it, because for those who are just starting out, if you miss this, it's going to give you a bad time. You're going to have a bad time with this, right? And that's red alerts. So what rings alarm bells for me? What scares me off? What makes me go no instantly when I'm checking out someone's profile and I go, no, all right, I'm not adding them as a friend. Okay, quick disclaimer at the start. I know there's exceptions to this rule. I'm not saying everyone involved in this stuff is a bad person. I'm not saying any of them are bad people, right? What I'm saying is that they're not the people you want to be connecting with. Okay, so with that disclaimer out of the way, the red alerts for me is Forex, Bitcoin, account manager, trading, crypto, all of these keywords, right? If I see solo ads, if I see any of these things on somebody's profile, I will not connect with them. I will not add them as a friend. Okay, and it goes back to the percentage thing again. The experience from months and months of me having conversations, of adding everyone, of trying to dial in and trying to figure out who it is that I want to be speaking to. This is what I've come up with. 95 to 99% of these people involved in all of those things that I just mentioned are not going to be the right people to connect with. They're involved in some other kind of online business. Look, there's a good chance they're going to pitch you before you even get a chance to get to know them, from my experience. And I don't want to generalize. Not everyone is like that. But as a general rule, most people involved in this stuff are not your target audience. They're going to pitch you. Sometimes don't know how to take no for an answer, unfortunately. And it can get a little bit awkward in some of the conversations. But at the end of the day, I've had my posts spammed from like crypto links or like Forex trading links. I've had my group spammed. I've had my inbox spammed, and that is why I do not add these people. So my recommendation is do not add anybody with that information on their Facebook page. These are the red alerts. These are the alarms that I look out for. Really, really crucial. Again, as I said, not everyone's going to be like that, but a big percentage of these people aren't marketers. They're not trained in marketing, right? But there's an affiliate program associated with their offer, with whatever they're promoting. And a lot of the time they just spam links. Just my experience. I'm just sharing my experience. As I said, I know there's some that are really good at marketing, but these are the red alerts I would look out for. So just to repeat, like crypto, Forex, Bitcoin, account manager, solo ads, trading, all these sorts of things. These aren't our ideal customers. This is not who we want to be targeting. So if you see that on their profile, avoid adding them as a friend. Okay, so I hope that is all making sense, guys. That is the 6 filters I use on layer 1. This is the first layer of my filtration process. So not heavily branded, tier 1 country, not too many mutual friends, not too few mutual friends, mid-ground on the age, their level of awareness and their experience, and keep an eye out for the red alerts. These are the 6 filters that I use on the front end. Is that all making sense, guys? Drop me a make sense again down below if that all makes sense. That's all clear. Joanna, thanks for jumping on live. Had a couple of pictures even before the how I use. Exactly right. This is what I'm talking about. And as I said, I don't want to come off like as an asshole and like sound like everyone is like that who's involved in Bitcoin, because there's some awesome people involved in Bitcoin. There's some awesome people who are trading, right? But a general percentage, right? Most of the time you're going to get pitched straight out of the gate. Like sometimes it's not even a hey, it's like literally just a link in my inbox. I've had that so many times. Can be incredibly frustrating, can't it? What else? Very true. Spammers more often than everywhere. Yep, absolutely. Amway PTSD alert. Yeah, gotcha. Awesome. Glad this is all making sense, guys. So someone said here, I normally pitch back or tell them to piss off. Look, there's a few different strategies you can use. You can try a quick flip and be like, hey, does that strategy actually work for you? Because I'm actually part of a program that teaches you how to sell things online. I think you'd have a lot more success. Look, there's a bunch of different strategies you can get around if you do encounter these people, but let's just avoid this whole thing. Let's just not add them as friends. Sure, sometimes you'll get people involved in this stuff that will slip through the cracks. They'll end up on your friends list. That's okay. And you can try a quick flip, or you can ignore the message, or you can just block them, send them to the block party, whatever you want to do. All right. But let's just not add them in the first place. Why don't we just avoid that whole thing, save the time, and not have to worry about it. Cool. All right. It looks like it is all making sense, guys. Awesome. So let's talk about layer 2. Layer 2, you guys might be familiar with this story. It's something I've talked about before, but I want to talk about it, right? Picture, all right, there's a guy. His name's Bob. He has a broken toilet. His entire basement is flooded, right? So he needs help. He's got a big problem, right? This guy needs help. How easy do you think it's going to be to close this sale? Like as an affiliate, right? Or let's say not as an affiliate, let's say as a plumber. As a plumber, right? Bob calls you up and he goes, I've got a flooded basement. My toilet is leaking everywhere. How much is it to help me, right? It's not going to be hard to close that sale because he needs you there, right? He's got a big urgent problem. He needs to solve that problem now. It is like it's a pressing concern. Like it can't wait. It has to be solved now. He's in a lot of pain. His feet are this deep in water. The whole house stinks. His kids are complaining, right? He's got a big problem. Bob has got a flooded basement, right? It is going to be so easy to close your sale as a plumber. You don't need any sales tricks. You don't need to have the best offer. Your ad could be crap. It could be terrible. And you probably still close a sale, right? Because he's got a flooded basement. Like, someone needs to go there right now and fix it. He's got an urgent problem. All right. Now think of somebody, let's say Jane, right? Jane doesn't have a flooded basement, right? But you're trying to sell your plumbing services so you can fix toilets really well. You've got a sweet offer. Like, you've got a really good deal going at the moment. You're on the first page of Google when she searches. You've got really good sales skills. You've closed multiple thousands of sales in the past, right? But Jane doesn't have a flooded basement. How hard is that going to be? Even with all of these awesome things, you could have the best offer out there, the best sales skills out there. You could be absolutely killing it in the plumbing world. But if Jane does not have a flooded basement, it is going to be so hard to close her on a plumbing deal, like on a deal for your offer. Like, how are you going to close that, right? And that's the way we need to be looking at affiliate marketing, right? Somebody without a problem is going to be virtually unclosable. You might close like 0.1% of people who don't have a problem. But that's what I spoke about earlier. That's who so many of us spend our time talking to, right? Is people who don't have a flooded basement. We're talking to people who don't have a flooded basement. We're asking these probing questions, trying to get more information out of them, trying to see if they've got a problem, right? And they're pretty clear. Like, they don't have a problem. They're crushing it. They're hitting 10K a month, or they're doing their 5K a month in half an hour a day, or whatever it is that they're happy with, right? Why would we try and close someone who doesn't have a problem? Like, we are wasting our time. We are wasting our energy. Okay, so we need to look for Bob. We need to look for someone with a flooded basement. That's what all of these filters are helping us. Like, I hope this is all making sense, guys. That's what all of these filters and these layers are helping us find, is somebody who actually has a flooded basement, because that's not going to be a hard sale to close. You don't need sales skills. You don't need the best offer in the world. They have an urgent problem. You connect them with a solution and they're going to be happy. Okay, you've solved the problem. It's an urgent, pressing problem. So it is so important to be focusing on people who have a flooded basement. If someone does not have a flooded basement, move on. Wish them well. Move on to the next conversation. At the end of the day, this is a numbers game. We need to be chatting to the right people. And if we come across the wrong people, which we will, even if we employ all of these filters, we're still going to run across people who don't have a problem, which you don't need to be rude or anything like that. You don't need to send them to the block party. Wish them well and move on to the next conversation. Don't invest any time into it. Don't invest any energy into it. If there is not a sale to be made here, why would you try and make a sale? And this is something I did for so long. I was trying to pitch people who didn't have any pain points, didn't have an urgent problem, and I was pitching them. And I was just trying to send my link. I wanted to send my link. So I was asking a bunch of these questions, trying to uncover a problem, right? If there's no problem, don't bother. Don't waste your time. You're going to invest so much of your time and energy into these conversations, and it's going to go nowhere. Okay, so we're looking for Bob. We need someone who has a flooded basement. This is like fundamental stuff, right? It's so, so important. And as I alluded to earlier, I found this out the hard way. By chatting to thousands of people and hundreds of hours in Messenger and getting nowhere. So really, really important stuff. So as I've got a little note here, and I'm going to be annoying again, guys, and tell you, look, I found a way to find where these people are hanging out on Facebook. I have found a way after so much trial and error, after sleepless nights and tantrums and all sorts of frustrations. I finally found a way found a place where they're hanging out on Facebook, right? This is something I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail, but I'm not going to talk about it today. I want to give you guys a reason to come back to the next training. They're going to be really exciting. It'll be actually the next one is tomorrow, and I'm going to jump into a little bit more detail on this stuff, but this is the goal, right? Like, this is the whole goal. We need to get in front of the right people. So in order to get in front of the right people, we need to know where they're hanging out. We need to know, where are they on Facebook? Are they even on Facebook? Right, you know what I mean? Like I spoke about the ads example the other day. When people have a problem, they jump in Google, they'll search the problem, they'll come up with an ad, boom, red hot leads, straight into a sale. So where do we find them as organic marketers? Like, if we're not paying for ads, where do we find these people? That's something you want to stay tuned for. I'm going to open up a little bit more about that stuff over the next couple of days. Hope that is all making sense, guys. Peter says, pitch the pitcher. Yeah, you can have a shot at pitching the pitcher occasionally. Sometimes it can be painful, but let me stop sharing my screen. Boom, and there we go. So, Guys, as you've probably seen in the Facebook group, I've been talking about it a little bit, but I've decided to create a training recently. So it's a masterclass. It's a 90-minute masterclass. It was born out of frustration, right? And me finally figuring out, like getting that secret edge when I had my breakthrough, when I hit that first $20,000 a month, when I hit the 50,000 in 92 days, when I became the #1 affiliate for SAA, I was like, it got me thinking. It was like, what are you doing different? Like, what am I doing different to everybody else? Like, why was I able to have this secret edge? And that's why I decided to call it the secret edge. So I've called it the secret edge, and I really just wanted to give back, like open up, because I've been able to change my life and achieve such like amazing results I never thought I'd be able to. I wanted to allow people to have the same information so that they could achieve the same or similar results, or maybe even way better. Like with this stuff, it's super, super powerful. And that's what I'm covering over the next couple of days. But yeah, as you guys probably seen, I have created a masterclass called The Secret Edge. The first round we've already completed. It was amazing. The response was crazy. We were aiming to sell 20 spots originally. We ended up selling 38 because I went to sleep and left the card open. I put up a post actually about that. It was crazy. Like, it was absolutely overwhelming. But yeah, look, for those of you guys didn't know, that's out there. It's really, really exciting. It's been great to see the response from all of you guys, and to see the results that people are getting just implementing this stuff has been crazy. Okay. So I wanted to talk about quickly being able to flip the script and find people who are looking for a solution to their problem, who are going to actively ask you for their affiliate link, right? Like, what if you could flip the script and have people jumping straight into your inbox? They've got an urgent problem. They see you as an authority, and they're going to ask you for your affiliate link. And they've just got a couple of clarifying questions that you can answer, and boom, $1,000 sale. That's where I'm at now. So that's where I've been able to do with a lot of people in my inbox, where I'll connect with somebody. They'll see my content over a series of weeks, and then they have an urgent problem. They'll reach out to me with a few clarifying questions. I answer those questions and close the sale. It's that easy. I'm like, sure, I've been practicing my sales skills, but by no means am I the best salesman out there. I do not have crazy sales tricks or hacks or anything like that. It is all about positioning. It's all about getting into that position of authority and getting people to the point where they have an urgent problem. You've connected with them. We know where to find these people. We've added them as a friend. They've got a problem. They see us as an authority and they reach out. That's called an inbound lead. And that's exactly what the whole goal of this thing is to generate. It's called attraction marketing. We want people to reach out to us. So I'm going to leave it on that note. That is the topic of tomorrow's training. We're going to go through how to get people to ask you for your affiliate link, how to easily close high-ticket sales, how to position yourself as an authority. I know, Shelly, cheeky bugger, I'm probably going to annoy a few people by cutting it off there, but that is it for today, guys. I'm going to jump into that in detail tomorrow, so make sure same time, same place, mark it in your calendar, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do. I'm going to be back with how to get people to ask you for your affiliate link tomorrow. Really excited to share this stuff. As I said, it gets more in depth. It gets more exciting as we go. But that concludes today's training, guys. So I'm going to open up the floor to any questions anyone has. Feel free to drop them below. No, don't go. Yep. I've got to leave some suspense. I want you guys to show up tomorrow because it's going to get more and more exciting. There's going to be some awesome information that I'm going to be sharing. So any questions at all, guys, I'm going to open up the floor. Any questions you want me to answer about today, about yesterday, anything I can clarify, anything you're struggling with. If you've had a breakthrough or an insight from anything I've shared so far, feel free to drop it down below. I'll give it a few seconds, guys. Type it out. Anything at all I can help with. A few people upset. It's all right, guys. It's only 24 hours. I'm going to be back, and we're going to be adding value every single day. Shelly, I am glad I could clear it up for you. It is my pleasure. I'm glad you've got a lot more clarity now. Guys, any questions at all? I'm here for a couple of minutes. If there's anything I can answer for you at all regarding the filters, regarding layer 1, layer 2, maybe it's unrelated to that and it's something you just wanted to ask me, take advantage of it. Feel free. Shelly, thanks for sharing. I'm going to share that. My breakthrough has been in clarity. It all seems so overwhelming, but the small bits you've shared has helped me get it straight in my mind. Really, really glad to hear that. And that's the goal of this training, is to clear things up, right? Like, it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It's a simple process. It's not easy. I don't want to make it sound like it's easy. It takes hard work, but it is a simple process. And when we can put these filters in place, it makes things so much simpler, because we don't need to put out these spot fires. There's not like, oh, I've got 100 people pitching me on crypto in my inbox. What do I do? Okay, because we've put these filters in place, we're not going to encounter that situation. So the whole goal is to simplify this a lot more. I'm not sure who this is, Facebook user, but we're doing this amazing training at the moment. This guy is holding back. How can we make him talk right now? All you got to do is show up in 24 hours, and I'm going to share another gem every single day. There's no way you can bribe me into talking anymore today. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve for me. So in the US, it's going to be the 30th. And I want you guys to hit next year hard. Like, I want everyone to crush 2021. I've had an amazing year in 2020, as I spoke about yesterday. And it's thanks to you guys, the guys who show up, like everyone here, the guys and girls who are showing up to the lives, who are commenting on my posts, who are supporting me. Like, yeah, I'm not going to talk anymore, but come back tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll see you guys here. Another comment. I'm at the beginnings of my affiliate journey and was wondering how I can skyrocket my reach, because 2021 has to be the year for me. We'll follow the trainings. So how can you skyrocket your reach? Look, I'm guessing by reach, you're talking about engagement on Facebook. Look, there's a lot of stuff I talk about in the unit section. If you head into the unit section, there is a daily action plan that you can follow. It's very basic, but that's the same plan I followed to boost my engagement from nothing to over 100 comments in a month. So dramatically increasing my reach. Look, I'm going to talk more about that. I don't want to cover too much of that, because that will be covered in the following trainings. But essentially, in order to skyrocket your reach, you need to be adding targeted people every single day. So what we've spoken about, put these filters in place, and we want to be adding targeted people to our friends list every single day. We want to be creating high quality content that deals with pain points. We're touching on all the pain points that people experience, the common objections they have, overcoming false beliefs, all sorts of things like this. We need to create quality content every single day, and we need to engage with our friends. So we need to spend a little bit of time engaging on your timeline with your friends, but be chatting to these people in Messenger, right? Reach out to every new friend that you add, have a conversation, get to know these people. The algorithm, like Facebook, will show your content to somebody that you are actively talking to in Messenger. It will always increase your reach. So look, they're the 3 tips I'll give you, 3 major tips. Is adding targeted friends, creating high quality content, and chatting to people. Is going to be, I know that's like overly simplified, but they are the 3 core tasks that you can do in order to skyrocket your reach and yeah, really make 2021 your year. Anything else I can answer before I jump off for the day, guys? Copywriting. I'm training on it and practicing it right now, because I feel really not confident, even though my background is in writing. So it's a little bit of a different game, but look, copywriting is something you need to. I'm not an expert copywriter at all. My methodology, right, is to deal with pain points. So to directly target, like, I write to myself. This is probably the biggest tip I could give anyone, is I write to myself when I was starting. So when I was starting out, what pain was I in? What emotions was I experiencing? What did my life look like then? And where did I want to go? Just that alone will massively increase your copywriting skills, right? Because if you can directly target these pain points, these core emotions, like emotion is a huge part of copywriting. Like incorporating emotion, letting people know how you feel. Like if you don't, there's an old saying, right? Like if you're writing a post and you don't feel anything, then the person reading it isn't going to feel anything. So if you don't feel any emotion when you're writing this, if this isn't close to your heart, if it doesn't mean something to you, if it doesn't cause some sort of emotional response, then the chances are that when somebody's reading it, it's going to be the same story. They're not going to feel it. They're not going to have any sort of emotions or anything like that. So I think like emotion is a big part of copywriting. Obviously, look, I'm not a copywriting expert, but what's worked for me is telling a lot of stories, incorporating a lot of emotion, letting people know how I felt and bringing them along. A good hook is essential. Like the headline is what is going to stop people scrolling, because there's like a sea of content out on Facebook right now. You want to get people to stop scrolling and actually read your post. And the hook, it's all about the hook. It's got to be curiosity-based. It's got to call out the person that you want to speak to. It's got to be something that they want to stop and actually read. I hope that's helpful, but don't obviously copywriting, keep the sentences short and sharp, concise, lots of spaces in between, make it easy to read. It shouldn't be written to a high reading grade. Like it should be written for, high school kids or even lower, because people want to read something that's easy to digest. Like if it's got a bunch of big words, it's hard to understand, people are less likely to read it. So did you write out your whole story or just organically write as things came up? Yeah. Look, I wrote as things came up. I had a backstory. I had a backstory just as everybody does, but I didn't I know Russell Brunson talks about writing an origin story and things like that. And I think that's a really valuable exercise to do. I didn't actually do that myself in the beginning. I obviously had a backstory and I just fine tuned it over time. I told my story as a new experience happened. I would tell the story and just added into my origin story, I guess. So as I've developed over time, things organically it just turned into the story that I now have. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if I can clarify anything there. But yeah, look, it's organically happened over time. I didn't particularly have an origin story written. I just let people know, every time something happened, I share the experience. You guys will see it every day. I share it with you guys all the time on my profile, in my group. If I have a big win, I'll share it because I get excited. It's exciting when big things happen. Even when I'm having a bad day or a bad week, I share it. I try to be super upfront and honest about everything. And that's another big part of your content is document your journey. Never lie, never misrepresent your earnings or tell everyone things are great when they're not great. Just be honest, be open and honest, share your journey, document it as you go. It's really that has made me multiple 5 figures now, tens of thousands of dollars just through sharing my story, being open and honest and not prettying things up, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's bad days. There's tough days. There's tough weeks. It's a business, right? It's not all great. There's tough times, and sharing that I think is really powerful, especially for your audience to see that you're a real person. You're not trying to misrepresent this. You're a real person going through a real journey, learning things. So yeah. There we go. And just to reinforce something I just spoke about, that's why I connected with you. Honesty is everything. Best advice ever. Honesty is everything. People's bullshit radar is so good. If you're not telling the truth, people know. You've just got to be open and honest. If you're not earning $10,000 a month, don't tell people you're earning $10,000 a month, right? Be honest with them. You've just started your journey, or you're on a path to hit 10,000 and you're documenting your journey. Honesty is everything, because we're in the online world, right? All it takes is you to bullshit for 3 weeks, write a bunch of stories that aren't true. People find out, and all of a sudden your name is burnt forever, because we're building a personal brand. Your name is burnt. All of these people are not going to trust you anymore because you've lied to them. Honesty is huge. I want to go back over this info. Please tell me this is being recorded. It is being recorded. It will be available for replay in the group. You can check it out 50 times if you like. It'll be here for you guys to watch. Epic info. Can't wait for tomorrow. Me either. I'm really excited. Really excited to share the rest of this stuff with you guys. So it looks like there are no more questions. I think Shelly had a comment. I could ask you 1,000 questions and try to write it all down when you talk. Look, keep showing up daily. I'll keep answering the questions. I'm happy to do that. But yeah, guys, look, if that's all of the questions for today, I hope you guys enjoyed the training. Let me know down below what your biggest takeaway was from today's training, what the biggest insight you've had. I'd really appreciate that because that helps me come up with more useful training for you guys in the future. And if you are checking this out on a replay, drop me a hashtag replay. If you're watching live and you haven't already, drop me a hashtag live. Let me know where you're checking in from. For those of you guys who are following these training series, same time, same place, in 24 hours, I'll be back with how to get people to ask you for your affiliate link. It's going to be a really valuable one. I'm excited to give away some of this information. But in the meantime, have a great day or night, and I'll see you guys in 24 hours.